Someone sitting in London at the moment, struggling in a job where they're just like, what am I doing in my life? And would you say to them, you could start an Amazon shop today and it can make you money? Or would you say it's too hard now, too many people are in it?
I'd definitely say there's lots of different opportunities around in the world, and you can find opportunity anywhere. It's really about the mindset. Like, are you coming at it with the right mindset? If you're thinking, I'm just trying to find a quick hustle, just make money here and there, you're not going to give it your all, you're not going to give it your 100%. But if you're really coming at it like,
what motivates you now that you've acquired money, you've hit $1 million in this, $1 million in that, you've made money, right? So what's your current motivation to work hard and take things to a new level?
I feel like that's a really good question, because that's one of the questions I was asking today as well, just to really figure out, like, what is your motivation? When all of the stuff came out and, millions and clients are rolling in and things are happening, to me, I kind of felt like, oh yeah, this is success, this is the pinnacle of the mountain. I kind of lost a bit of motivation. I was like, this is it. But I realized
Today we're going to kick off an unforgettable journey with a good friend of mine. Imagine starting your first job delivering pizzas on a moped around the UK, and now you're running multi-dirham and multi-million e-commerce brands around the world, heading it all up from Dubai. Today I'm with none other than Jason Kwao, who's really got the wow factor in his name, who's definitely been through his own journey of successes and failures, which we're going to dig into to get to where he is today. And if I'm not mistaken, we're just getting started.
100%.
There's a lot to go, a lot to unpack. We're going to talk about the Amazon business. We're going to talk about e-com, pivoting and scaling brands, his own brands and brands that he's worked with as well. And I really want to go into the path and the journey and the sacrifice that you have to take to get to the point of comfort. So without wasting any more time, let's begin. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Harris. I love that introduction.
Thank you so much. I see you everywhere. Gulf News, Loving Dubai, the Daily Mail. I keep reading about you everywhere. What's going on? Where's that all coming from? Like, everyone's talking about you.
You know what? Life's good, man. Life's good. And I always want to give the grace to God, because, I got paired with an amazing partner. And, you might see me as the front and, taking things forward, but she's really like behind the scenes and making everything happen. Like, every single move that you see in the business, like, she's probably working on the 80% of it behind the scenes, and I'm like the 20% of it, like what you see at the forefront.
Yeah.
But just having that amazing relationship, like us being paired together, the power couple. So yeah,
It's the backbone, isn't it? I think a lot of people talk about success, how they've made it in life, what they've done, and how amazing they are. One thing that you've said every time is you've mentioned your missus, and mashallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you guys. One of the key things here is we can take counsel in our wives. We can discuss work with our wives. We can get them involved, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll see things from a completely different angle to you.
100%.
And they'll give you the advice, actually, maybe don't do this, do that.
Yeah.
No matter how big we grow, if we can take counsel from our partners and our spouses, it's going to work. It's going to create A, peace in the household,
100%.
and B, success.
100%. That's it, man.
Yeah. So tell us a little about yourself, like introduce yourself, tell our listeners about your kind of top line, your journey and where you've been.
Yeah. I mean, my journey, I always see as like a humble beginning, humble starting. And like my journey of like really coming into my own as a man was when I moved from the Netherlands over to the UK. Because during that moment, it's a tough transition. But I'm coming to the UK, I'm in Croydon, and I see London for the first time, and it looks nothing like what I've seen in the movies.
Yeah.
There's even like the Croydon riots going on, so like there was buildings burning and everything. So
I remember that. I was in Croydon when they were burning.
Bro,
I was there that day.
I was like, this is what you guys do.
Yeah.
But obviously, it was just crazy for me. Obviously, for everyone.
Yeah.
But just going through that, navigating that, like I almost got stabbed at university. And I remember in that moment for me, it was like, I need to turn my life around. Like if I'm going to do anything, it needs to be something positive. It needs to contribute to people in a positive way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started changing my life, started reading books. I remember my first book I read was Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
And, my dad had always told me, save money. So I was really good at saving money. But I'd save the money and I'd splash all of the money.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the next step was. But then I realized, okay, now investing, like what can I invest in? What vehicles are available for me? And at that time, I'm investing into myself. I'm investing into courses. I'm learning as much as I can.
Learning as well, right? Reading, learning.
Learning.
You've just gone way too quick, so we have to go back a little bit. Because you were born in the Netherlands, but you actually grew up kind of traveling around.
Yeah.
You spent time in Ghana as well.
Yeah.
Is your kind of predecessors, granddads from Ghana as well?
Yeah. So the family, one thing I love about my family is its history, because I always ask my parents about the history. Because if you don't know where you're coming from, you don't know where you're going.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my grandparent from my mom's side, he was an entrepreneur. He was like one of the richest people in his village.
Yeah.
So when I have a business success, I almost feel like I'm speaking to him. Like he's like, yeah, bro, like I knew you could do it. Like you have my spirit and DNA in you.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's like really beautiful.
Amazing.
And then
What was like life like living in Ghana? Like, was it easy? Was it challenging? Like, how did you find that? Because now, obviously, living in Africa, living in Europe, living in the UK, you've seen different climates, and obviously, you came at a testing time in the UK. It's not all doom and gloom. It's a nice place. We know.
yeah.
We've obviously lived in the UK. We appreciate what we've got from there. But at the same time, what would you say is the big difference in terms of the opportunity today
Yeah.
and what you've seen, and how was it growing up?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I've jumped different cultures a lot. Like I was in the Netherlands for a bit, and then we went to Ghana, and then we went to the UK. I feel like every single place has a different culture and a different mindset.
Yeah.
I feel like the UK is very hustle and bustle. Like everyone's always going busy, busy, busy.
They don't know where they're going though, right?
That's the thing. Yeah. Obviously, you find them at the pub at the end of the week.
Yeah.
But I feel like Ghana was also like the very slow pace of it. You know, they move very slow. But I feel like Dubai for me is almost like instant. You know, like you send me the message. You know, podcast on this day.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, let's make it happen. Send over the details, and you know, we're here.
And in the UK, when you went, obviously you're in your teens now, you've gone through school. School didn't go as you planned, right? What was kind of like, what was school like? And how comes you didn't want to, or you didn't complete it, or you did complete it? Like, what happened on that education journey? Because a lot of people listening are at school, are at college, are at university, and still studying and figuring out their next steps in life.
Yeah. So for me, school, it wasn't for me per se. Like I was really good. Like I'd get the grades and everything, but I wanted to be rich. I wanted to figure out how to make money. I feel like the elements that are missing in school is like, I was so shy, I didn't even know how to socialize, but I was getting good grades in English.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like social skills, and I was really good at maths, but I really didn't know anything about money, like saving, investing, taxes,
Yeah.
and all those things. So I feel like there was little elements that were missing in the information that I was getting, and that led me to going outside and seeking
So
that.
do you remember thinking this when you were at school?
The only thought I remember when I was in school was I wanted to be rich, and I didn't know how to be rich.
Why do you want to be rich? Because there's got to be something to it, right? In terms of like the real trigger. Because I'm going back to that point because that's dictated where you are today. So what was the real factor? Because I guess everyone sees things, whether it's on social media or you step in the high street and see a nice car. I'd like this, I'd like that. But what was your real trigger? Like, why did you want to acquire wealth?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I felt like all of the best things were behind money.
Yeah.
That was what I felt like at a young age. Now that I'm older, like I realized, you know, there's lots of values outside of money that are
Yeah.
also really good. But I'd see in the school I went to in Ghana, the guy that ran the school, he'd come up with a different car like every few months. I'm like, this guy is raking it in.
Yeah, yeah.
And one of my brother's friends as well, like his parents were super rich and they'll always go out and they'll always go have fun. You know, like it just opened so many different experiences. Like you live a richer life through the experiences that you unlock. So that for me was a factor.
If you don't mind me asking, were you brought up with lots of money? Like, were you in a position where things were just there and you guys had everything you wanted, or did you have struggle in your own way?
So I would say we grew up quite middle class, actually. So we had stuff, but I knew there was more stuff to be had as well.
Yeah.
My dad would always be working, so we wouldn't spend much time with him. And I definitely craved like having that time with my father a lot. But I knew he'd probably going out, he's making money, he's working, etc. And you know, when he's working as well, I think the most important thing was to him was our education. My dad will invest every single penny that he's got into education, making sure we've got the best of knowledge.
Yeah.
And I think he passed that down to me as well.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was at my lowest, one thing that he said to me is like, read books. And that actually led me to reading my first book.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted more experiences.
That's amazing. See, with me, it's a bit the opposite in the way of upbringing because my father was an educator and very educated. He still is.
Yeah.
But even in his 70s, all he does is read. So he lectured at university all his life to teach a skill or knowledge onto people, but he never wanted to acquire the wealth himself. He knew he could, but it didn't even interest him.
Yeah.
So his was more, I educate myself and I educate people, and that's my value to the world.
Yeah.
I read books, I'll study. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm going to study law and understand it.
Yeah.
He was a botanist. And even until today, he's constantly going to the library, bringing books back, reading, inspiring. And so what I saw in my dad, even though he did have a business for a short while, was don't worry about money as long as you got enough to put clothes on your back,
Yeah.
and feed yourself,
Yeah.
And a lot of people in successful roles have told me or businesses, as long as you got like a bit of roti, a bit of food at the end of the day, you're good, right?
Yeah.
But I think I thought differently, and sometimes I feel like I saw success around me as well.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of the people that came to the UK from Pakistan, where I'm from, in the 70s and in the 80s, and they made mad successes. And it really made me think, I would like to do that. But then I took it to a different level of what would I do with this wealth if I acquired it? And I'm still on that journey, right? I'm
Yeah.
not at a position where I'm retired or even semi-retired.
Yeah.
But it's like, what would I do with this? Can I build a mosque? Can I build libraries? Can I give back some philanthropy work? So I've got my own thing which keeps me focused and motivated. My question is to you now, today where you are, you've made some money, you're relatively comfortable. What motivates you now that you've acquired money? You've hit a million in this, a million in that. You've made money, right? So what's your current motivation to work hard and take things to a new level?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a really good question because that's one of the questions I'm asking today as well, just to really figure out like what is your motivation?
Yeah.
Because when all of the stuff came out and millions and clients are rolling in and things are happening, to me, I kind of felt like, oh yeah, this is success. This is the pinnacle of the mountain. I kind of lost a bit of motivation. I was like, this is it. But I realized what happened last time when I had success. It's like I stopped growing and I stopped learning and everything went away.
You got complacent,
I
you'd say.
got complacent.
Yeah.
So now I'm obsessive of like, okay, this is where you are now. Like, what is the next level?
Yeah.
And for me, I really needed something big and audacious. Obviously, my daughter, like, she's a major factor in everything I do.
Yeah.
Like, I want to help her out. I want to navigate autism in the best way possible and be a voice for her and help her find her voice as well.
Yeah.
And also, I really wanted to make Africa, like the continent of Africa, like a really big thing, like find its strength and find its power and find its truth.
Yeah.
So I feel like I started from really humble beginnings, and if I'm able to get to where I am now, want to replicate this for as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Like that, I feel like it's part of the legacy I want to leave.
That's powerful. And I think legacy is such an important word, which we can say, but when you actually think about it, then you realize we're just human beings, flesh and blood. The soul will leave the body. We're going to die one day. And at that point, what happens, in terms of afterlife, God, that's one thing. But the second thing is, what am I leaving behind? It's your wife, your kids, and the morals and the teachings and the effect you've had on the world.
Yeah.
So if you look at Africa and if you look at certain continents, there's nothing but opportunity. But sometimes government policy, corruption, backhanders, and just people getting greedy, not looking out for their own like continent or country, it's what's causing the issue of growth. And that's why there's so much disparity, east and west. There's so much where if only this happened, that would happen. If I have it the same with Pakistan, when I look at our country and I'm like, actually, there's an amazing resource. I'm actually building an office there for staff now for some of our businesses. And I'm looking at the talent and it's unreal.
Seriously.
So intelligent people. There is a hunger. People want to succeed. They want to go to what did my dad do in the 70s? What did your dad do? They moved us out to Europe, to the UK, sacrificed, had no money, but they fed us to give us the teachings we have today. What can we do? A, reverse migration. We've come more east than west.
Yeah.
But B, how can we add value to our own countries? No. Hats off. I can't wait to see that journey when you enter either the political sphere or a sphere where you're impacting government policy and trying to just clean things up, because it's going to require a lot of strength for sure.
100%. It's going to be one of the toughest battles, but that's what we prepare for.
Yeah, for sure. So if I can go back now to the UK, you're in the UK, you started uni and you were like, you know what? There's something bigger than this. I'm going to start my own thing. And you start working. At that point, you said, because I remember we spoke about this, that you were shopping a lot on Amazon while you were doing your pizza stuff, right?
Yeah.
But you realized this is a portal where people make money because I'm giving the money.
Yeah.
Let me flip the script.
Yeah, literally.
So how did you go from thinking about that to making it into a business that made you money?
Yeah. So when I was university, actually, like you see a lot of kids, making money online. And at the back of my mind, I guess that thought was always there. So when it got to the point where I'm just obsessively shopping, like I spend so much of my money on Amazon because it's easy, it's convenient, it literally comes to your door, you don't like it. obviously even here they come pick it up from your doorstep if you don't like it.
Yeah, yeah.
They make it so easy and convenient to spend your money.
Yeah.
So to me, I was like, okay, I can buy this item for cheap on eBay, but I'd rather pick Amazon.
Yeah.
I know lots of customers think the same way. Now
Yeah, yeah.
let me find a product that I can go ahead and put on Amazon.
Yeah.
Let me start selling it. Let's see what happens, what comes out of it.
And did you do a course to learn how to find the best product?
Yeah, I was obsessively learning. I was obsessively studying. I've done 2 courses actually, just to make sure like if this person missed this information, at least I can get it from this person, 2 different perspectives, and then I kind of have my own.
Yeah.
And then as I was launching on Amazon, a few mistakes, got a mentor, someone who was guiding me, taught me like a few different things.
Yeah.
And that helped. Like, they've walked the path before, so that was really helpful.
Someone sitting in London at the moment, struggling in a job where they're just like, what am I doing in my life? Would you say to that person, if you were going to look in your camera, would you say to them, you could start an Amazon shop today and it can make you money? Or would you say it's too hard now, too many people are in it? Like, what's the current status for the UK and the UAE for Amazon and resellers?
Yeah. So I'll definitely say opportunities. Like, there's lots of different opportunities around in the world, and you can find opportunity anywhere. It's really about the mindset. Like, are you coming at it with the right mindset?
Yeah.
If you're thinking, I'm just trying to find a quick hustle, just make money here and there, you're not going to give it your all. You're not going to give it 100%. But if you're really coming at it like, I want to make this work, I have a hunger, this is my drive, this is my motivation.
Yeah.
Now, when those tough days comes, when you're thinking of giving up, when you're making a loss, you have something bigger, like, I have to make this work, there's potential for this, and this is why I need to make it work. It's really about you as an individual.
I remember I set up notifications. So every time I got an Amazon order when I had an Amazon shop in UK, that feeling was so amazing.
That's the best
It was
feeling.
like bing. I was like, no way. I'd wake up, it was like bing, bing, bing. And I'm like, last night, 80 people went on. I had this car charger. So you put the phone holder in your air conditioning thing, and you'd put your phone near it, and the sensor would open, and then you put your phone, it would lock it, and then it would wirelessly charge the phone. I was the only guy who had it on Amazon. Imagine.
Yeah, nah.
Anyway, that was a long story.
That's
and
a good
then,
story.
we have a group of companies, and Junaid had the child locks for kids, for cupboards.
Yeah.
And even that, like, to find a product that had average reviews but was getting enough orders, there's an art to that.
Yeah.
Make that product better, finesse it, and bring it back to the market. And rebrand it. So he had a name for the brand, and he's growing a brand literally on the Amazon platform. So that's pretty amazing. And did you ever do e-com? Like, did you ever build a website and sell product in the UK, or was it mainly just through Amazon?
So I tried building a website and doing all that stuff, but for me, I think the infrastructure was a bit too complex for me at that time when I was starting off.
Yeah.
Because obviously you got to run the ads on Meta, you got to do the pixels, you got to do the conversions, emails. Like, it was a bit over my head. I was breaking even, but I wanted more. Whereas Amazon, they had the infrastructure, put the product on there, do the research. It was a bit simpler for me. I could understand.
You don't even realize like how many things you have to do, like plugins and paying maybe Shopify every month, and you got this every month, and you need APIs, and then it's not easy to set up a functioning e-com website, but it's doable. And so you learned that on the journey as well, though, right?
Yeah. I learn it. I don't specialize in it. For me, like, Amazon's like my bread and butter, and obviously the content as well. So like the social media. Obviously, like, you do your consulting, and people like you, they really add value to the e-commerce space, because when there's so many different things to figure out, and you're a founder and you're trying to grow your brand, you can't just come in and
you can burn through money like that. Make one wrong decision
easily. Like, the money, they'll take the money. Like, the Meta ads, all those people, like, they don't mind taking the money.
Everybody will tell you, I'll get you 4x ROAS, give me 20 grand, I'll do this, I'll do that. But you got to be very careful as a founder, especially. And you want to worry about the logistics, the after sales. If something goes wrong, what do I do? Trustpilot, Google reviews. And then on a website, you've got to think about the landing page, the customer journey, A/B testing, the checkout conversion. Why is it not enough? Where am I getting more of my ad spend? Did the influencer campaign work? And this is all the stuff that I've learned from like scratch. I had a business partner called Naveed and Asim, and I worked with them on the Make Bike brand. That was the first time we built our own website. And honestly, like, the learning curve was crazy. It was like 10x what I learned at uni. 10x. I remember the day we got our first sale through the website. We were like, someone actually bought something for £4,000 or £3,000. We were so buzzing. I remember we hit like £1 million in revenue. We hadn't hit profit at that stage. We were still learning, but we hit the revenue, and even that feeling was unreal. Like, hold on, we got £1 million on our website that we built. Do you know what I mean? Driving to Exeter, we found some cheap guy and this and that. Like, we in-house stuff now, and alhamdulillah, we've learned a lot, right? But that learning is unreal. And this is where you touched on it before. The education system was last kind of updated, apart from some of the new LGBTQ funky stuff, like over 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So they've not made changes to the system.
100%.
People aren't learning how to run a P&L or do a feasibility study or use the power of AI and harnessing that to give you solutions. Like, when I did a feasibility study, I'd spend hours on it. Now I've got the power of something at my fingertips that will cut that into like an hour.
Yeah.
So I still have to evaluate it and give the next steps. And it's not like you just put things in AI and it happens, right?
Yeah.
But there's powers out there and tools that you can use. And I think this is where kids need to learn this. Like I was telling you when we were walking earlier about, such a small population of people have this uncommon force, hence the name of the podcast. And I want to talk to those people that do things different, who go out and are hungry to succeed. But then I look at it and go, actually, why is it such a small population? Will this change now in the new world with Pakistan, with Africa, with India, with like the countries that haven't necessarily had the strongest infrastructure and build, and also with technology and harnessing that technology? And that's what kind of got me obsessed with technology, because I was like, wow, I can build sales funnels. I didn't know what sales funnels were.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I can automate these and I can do AI plugins as well. This is crazy. So like you could talk to everyone who's come to you as a lead in essence, right?
Literally.
I'm still on that learning curve, but it's fascinating, right?
Yeah.
And does the Amazon side help with like customer filters? If someone's thinking about Amazon, they want to reach out to you, for example, and get some help and advice. This last question on Amazon, but does it help you with like after sales or automated communication with clients?
So Amazon, like from where it first started to where it is now, like as you were saying, your friend was literally building a whole brand on Amazon.
Yeah.
Like Amazon's now opening up like lots of different things where, if people have looked at your items, they've added it to the basket, but they haven't checked out, you can send them a message, you can send them an email, and you can literally reach out to those people.
Yeah.
You can build out your own website on Amazon. You can see all the data of how many people have come on the website, what's the conversion rate. You can send traffic from outside, track like how the traffic is performing on Amazon and everything.
Can you send from like TikTok to Amazon as well?
You can send from anywhere to
YouTube,
Amazon.
anything.
There's that brand that sold water in a can. I think, I forgot the name. But Liquid Death, yeah.
Liquid Death.
Yeah. They literally, if you go on their website, it literally takes you to the Amazon store, so you can go ahead and check out on Amazon.
Right.
So like Amazon is their whole website.
Yeah.
Their whole warehouse, like the infrastructure and everything, because you do the click and then it comes like same day, next day.
Yeah.
So Amazon really helps with like creating that infrastructure for brands in order for them to go ahead and grow. Whereas you're then focused more so on like the marketing aspect of the business, like really driving the traffic from all the different sources.
This episode is sponsored by Food to Fertilizer. Let me tell you a little bit about this business and why I got involved. 38% of the food produced in the UAE every day goes into landfill. Globally, this contributes to 4.4 gigatons of carbon dioxide being released into the atmosphere because of food waste ending up in landfill. The average person in the UAE is wasting around 225 kilograms of food every year. That's more than double my weight. Let that sink in for a minute. The estimated cost to the UAE per year dealing with food waste is about 3.5 billion USD. These figures are shocking and heartbreaking, and I'm sorry to drop them to you. In Saudi Arabia, about half the food produced every day ends up in landfill. Half the food, and there's people starving around the world. That's 3.2 million tons of food waste a year. It gets worse. In Ramadan, the blessed month of Ramadan, this food waste increases to around 60%. The UAE is forward thinking, alhamdulillah, and you can see power moves being made. Under the leadership of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the environmental responsibility has really become a core part of the values. The UAE is now committed to reduce food waste by 50% by 2030 and close landfill by 2027. This is where me and my partners come in to help and support the mission. My friends from South Wales called me up and said, we've got this business called Food to Fertilizer. We need your help. Let's do this together, and I joined forces with them. We now serve the GCC, so we're in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, Oman, even Jordan. If you're in the Middle East and you want to know more, just send us a DM. I'll give you a couple of minute brief on Food to Fertilizer and what we do. We've got a patented technology in our machine that's an on-site solution that's been in manufacturing for over 20 years. The machines range from 60 kilos to 2,500 kilos, and they're modular, so we can even deal with 10 tons a day. The idea is that with thermal oil and a rotating arm, without adding any enzymes or additives, it will turn your organic food waste into a dry organic matter. We're reclaiming the water, that nutrient-rich water. We've got a dry content that's now able to feed plants and enrich soil, and it reduces the food waste by 80 to 90%, also lowering carbon emissions. In terms of where our machines are already present globally, we've got the NHS in Scotland, we've got IKEA and Westfield Shopping Centre Australia, numerous prisons and government buildings around America, and now in the UAE we've got presence in Eldar. The Eldar Education Group, the GEMS Education Group. We've got machines installed in British School of Al Khubarat in Abu Dhabi, Khalifa bin Zayed Al Awal School, Kent College, Dubai American Academy, Al Munna, Rashid Al Latifa School, you name it. So if you're in F&B, hospitality, education, healthcare, send us a DM, click the link in the bio and get in touch with us. We're going to show you how our on-site food waste solution can not only save you money in the long run, but help save the planet as well. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. You mentioned that, culturally when you grew up, obviously you saw different cultures in Europe, the UK, and then you moved to Dubai. As a father, as a husband, you've come here with family, you had your own reasons and triggers, and you've discussed those already. But you also mentioned that you felt that your superpower was not fitting in, it was standing out. That's powerful when you think about that, right?
Yeah.
I realize I'm not like everyone else. I realize I'm different, but that's actually a power.
Yeah.
Like if you think about that, how many people are out there that don't realize they have that power? Imagine. And they just, confidence goes down, they shrink. I failed, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that. I met someone that made candles, I remember in Shoreditch, and I'm like, chatting to you, I'm like, you're making these amazing candles. And you can scale this production, and you can have a website and social media. You can gift this to all those celebrities, get them to tag your page, and you'll grow. And it's a mad product, and it's got crazy profit margin. But 3 years later, you're still in that shop because you didn't realize that you actually had a superpower.
Yeah.
I see it all the time. So when I recruit, I'm always out and about and I'm looking for people. And I'm like, if I find a talent, I try and give them a job, or come and work for me. Or even if it's an affiliate, if I haven't got a job vacancy or I haven't got a budget, I'm like, just work with me, try this thing. And if it works, you're going to make this much thousands. You know what I mean? And I still do it till today. You know what I mean? So that's really interesting. And so in Dubai, how's the process been in terms of setting up, moving here and the ease of making money? And because there's a lot of glitz and glam online, especially you mentioned social media. There's a lot of people that have nice cars or big villas or whatever. But reality is there is poverty, there is struggle, but there's also opportunity. So have you made it? Would you say you've made this your home? Have you settled in? Are things going well?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I love about Dubai, I think it's like a global hub.
Yeah.
Like everyone from the UK that's doing something is coming to Dubai at some point, and they'll let you know when they're in Dubai. I'm in Dubai, let's go do something.
Yeah.
And the people in Dubai are hungry; they always want more.
Yeah.
They're driving for excellence.
Yeah.
I am yet to meet. Well, I won't say that actually. But when I came to Dubai, for me, the vision that Dubai sold me of 2040 of what they want to head and what they want to accomplish. I went to the Museum of the Future in Dubai.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like, oh, they got a vision. They got a big vision. Like, I want to be a part of something big. And I thought that's what human beings all want. Some people, they come to your company, they want to work with you, and you give them that vision, they give them that dream, and they want to strive for it. They want to accomplish big things with their life. So I think that's like really big for me coming to Dubai, and I think lots of people also see that and they want to be here as well.
Yeah, no, and you're right. It's bringing an influx of the super successful people. I've started doing a bit of wealth management, and I've seen the amount of money people are wanting to leave the UK with and invest here. I wasn't intending to do real estate, for example, but when I saw the opportunity, I was like, actually, I'd be foolish not to do it, because if you trust me, and I am trustworthy, I'm going to work hard for you, then absolutely I'll help you, and I'll be that connector for you, and get you in front of the right people to manage your move. And I realized when I entered that world, there's so many people in the next 6 months that are going to announce it, like famous people, successful business people, entrepreneurs, and I've decided for my overall growth, sitting here, it's a hub of the world. Everyone's here, and I can connect from here as well, right? So we can fly to so many places quite easily. I was in Oman, and I was like, what an easy flight that was. And Oman had its own opportunity. I was in Qatar. What an easy flight. I drove to Oman, but Qatar was a flight. It's a lovely airport. When I got, I'm like, this is a banging place. Like Saudi Arabia, the amount of opportunity there. So obviously you're on a digital journey, and I have some physical product, and I'm involved in different things. So I'm in tech and innovation, where we meet like innovation hubs, startup hubs, and you see how much is kicking off. The next unicorn is here.
Literally.
You know what I mean? And people are there going, this is going to go there, and they see it happen. And I've seen people like really succeed here. So absolutely. And, I had a guy in my sales team from Ireland many years ago, and I used to make sales teams where I'd treat you how to be a leader and recruit, and you'd have your own team, right? And his name was called POE, which is product of environment. He was like, I grew up with nothing. He was homeless, and this guy made a lot of money, but he was always like, I'm a product of my environment. Now I'm around you, and he's crazy people that wake up at 6 a.m. with suits on to come
Yeah.
and sell whatever they're selling, but it makes me motivated. I
Yeah.
want to do well now. I want to
Yeah.
buy a house. And
Yeah.
I watched that, and that kind of stuck with me, where
Love that,
we
man.
are all a product of environment, right?
Yeah.
Now you're in this new environment. Now we're talking about Brother Jamal. We're talking about different things that are happening in the people in our communities
Yeah.
and the unity in those communities. And I know you mentioned people are here to be successful, but one key thing for anyone listening out there that's thinking, I might want to move here, I might not want to move here, is people will help you. You reach out. If they're free, they're going to help you. They're going to come along and say, you know what, let's meet for a coffee. I met a guy this morning. It was like supposed to be 1 hour. It became 2.5 hours. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I've missed 2 meetings now. But, the guy came. He's thinking of moving here. He just wanted to chat. And he actually mentioned you as well in that conversation.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he's like, yeah, I saw this guy online. He's doing some big things. I'm like, yeah, I'm meeting him later today. So it's a small world. But I think the opportunities are there, and there's help as well. It's like we're not all trying to make money off each other. We're willing to help each other with nothing in return, because karma works, you know what I mean? So that's what I found with the community I'm building. Like, it's amazing. And that's why I talk about kind of how there'll be crossover in the future with us. We have a conversation about food waste going on, like maybe we'll do something in food waste. So, these are the things that are the next chapter and step in our relationships, right?
100%. I do agree.
And would you say that you've made like actual friends as well? Like, or is it all business partnerships? Because obviously you are a very family oriented guy.
Yeah.
You're all about your daughter, your obviously missus, your son. But would you say you're very much that, or have you found that there's a community of people, or you're just too busy to make friends?
Honestly, I feel like when we first came, like, I feel like it was survival, because we came from the UK, like we literally came to Dubai and we were trying to build from zero, literally from scratch. Obviously, we had the skill set. So for me, it's just like go, 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 go. It's only this year that I've settled a bit, gone out, meet friends, have a bit of fun, do podcasts, do interviews, but it's mainly business. I mean, the kids, business primarily keeps me very busy. And then apart from that, like I'll just open a book, I'll study, just trying to gain as much knowledge as I can.
Yeah, that's really inspirational. I love the fact that you're still reading and learning, because that journey never ends. When I see my dad learning at 70 years old and 73 years old, 73 years old, I'm like, look, there's never ending to that. And if you stop, then you get complacent, you stop learning, you stop growing and developing. And podcast is such a great way of doing this. And that's why I've got into it myself.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to do this myself, but I actually looked at it and gone, I'm learning from podcasts. Can I bring the right guests on to inspire someone? And I always think about who's listening to this in the UK or in Canada or in America. We're living out here. It looks all cushy, but it's not. We worked really hard this last year that you and I have both been setting up, right? So it's that set up, start up kind of mentality of, I've done something, I've hit success, so I know I can be successful. How do I pivot that in the new world? Do you know what I mean? We're both still hungry to succeed right now, right? And inshallah, God willing, that when we get to a point of that and we can do more good for other people and help people get to that level as well, and not get misguided or lost with money, because also money can open up a whole other world. So that's why God and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and having that focus and prayer, touching base. We talked about praying before, right? And what the importance is. That's where you become really successful, because you take it to a new level, because it's like the purpose has gone up, right?
Yeah, 100%.
What would you say is your connection to God, and how does that tie in with your success in life?
Yeah.
I
So
know it's a bit of a deep one.
yeah, it's
but
a deep one, right?
yeah.
I think those are the questions that are really needed.
Yeah.
Because I think God is such an amazing value. And one thing I really love about you is when I spoke to you and you said any new business, any new venture I launch, like I'd literally say a prayer, to get the guidance, if it's meant to be, let things work out very smoothly and amazing.
Otherwise, put an obstacle in my way and make it blatant that I shouldn't do this.
Exactly.
It's a prayer called istikhara in Arabic. It's istikhara. And it's so beautiful, bro.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And when you meet people with values and morals like that, this is not someone that's going to stab you in the back, because you just know, like, they are connected to the source.
Yeah.
And for me, that's a really beautiful thing. And for me, it's my relationship to God's come a lot from mentorship. Like, I've seen people, one of my mentors in the UK, she asked her, what is your secret to making money? Like, how do you get all these millions? And she told me, God. Yeah. And I didn't believe it at that time. I was like, you're probably trying to trick me, but let me just figure out like what you got to say. And she taught me so much. Obviously my dad is a pastor as well. So Christian values that they've taught me, that they've broken down to me. And my dad, he used to like put on the cartoons and everything, like, like all the things are coming into our brain.
Yeah.
But right now, being in a Muslim country, I'm also very intrigued in like Islam, how does that work? What's the spiritual grounding behind Islam?
Yeah.
I also like to meditate a lot, like just, taking the time, going internal, like doing my affirmations and all of those things.
Yeah.
But I think spirituality, like connecting to God, I feel like all of the answers in life are there. You can read as many books as you want, but if God's like, this is not for you, it's not going to work. But if God says this is for you, you're going to see like things opening up for you. It might be
It's
difficult,
that
but it will
faith.
open.
You said it so beautifully. My dad always taught me one thing: understand religion, understand God, and never say that someone else is wrong and you're right, and these kind of things, right? So for me, in religious studies in school, I could have done Islam, but he's like, learn Christianity, and I learned it very deeply actually.
Yeah.
And so for me, Christianity, Judaism, the Abrahamic religions,
Yeah.
when you actually understand them and the true source, because things have changed over the year with New Testaments and whatever else. But if you look at the source, the teachings of the Abrahamic religions, there's a clear crossover. And and the understanding of a Muslim is we believe in the books, we believe in Judaism, we believe in Christianity, and it's like a chronological order that Islam came next as a revelation from God and the final book, right?
Yeah.
And so when you actually read it and the logic, and I've met people that have like entered the fold of Islam, I always ask like, what was your trigger? What happened? Did you read about it? And it's always like, it was a simplicity that actually it's A, B, and C, and this is C. So to be surrounded by this, I guess, is good for anyone of any religion. And good thing about the UAE is in the Middle East, is what we invite anyone. Do you know what I mean? Like, come practice your religion, believe in God even better. There are many people that are atheists out here as well, but at the end of the day, by seeing the example of someone in terms of their charitableness, or as a country, and zakat, when you start learning what is zakat, and I have to give 2.5%, that's like from God saying, if you're going to make money, you have to give back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no, really beautiful, bro. And I hats off to you, the fact that you've got this focus, I mean, for me, I look back in my 20s and I look back at, how I was playing and what I was doing with life. And yes, I learned the skill of business and customer acquisition, but I didn't have the vision. I was like, one day I'll do business, one day. And I just stayed in this comfort zone of, I'm good at sales and training people. I'm just gonna keep doing this. And I say to my friend Bobby, who was in my team for 10 years, I feel like it's laughed for a living, which is not a bad thing. I laughed every day because every day I enjoyed life.
Laughing is good, man. It's the best medicine.
Exactly. But I didn't push my business acumen and I didn't grow. Now that I'm in self-employed world, and since like the last 8 or so years I've been running businesses, it's taught me so much in my personal development as well. So we talked about meditation as well. So whenever you're ready, I told you already, we're going to ice plunge. Yeah,
I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
Yeah, you've got to go into a meditative state. Yeah,
you got to test the limits. I think that's what life is about, man.
Absolutely, bro. Who knows? There might be a podcast in an ice plunge one day. You saying about that?
Yeah, man.
Wicked. So I want to talk about building brands now. There's a lot of people out in the world that have ideas, and there's a lot of brands out there that want to grow. And there's people I'm speaking to now and consulting with that are looking to grow their perfume brand or their trainer brand, or whatever it might be, right? How do you help a brand grow? If I said to you, I got a cufflink idea, right? I'm going to bring special colorful cufflinks made out of XYZ, and I want to sell it to professional males that wear suits. Do I go to Savile Row and open up a shop? I can't afford it. So if I said to you, I've got a product that's physical and I want to sell it, how would you help me grow my brand?
Yeah. So for me, one thing I like to look at is the pulse of the market. If there's no demand for it, it doesn't matter. If you're selling, I don't know, a golden house, but no one really wants a golden house. Like, it's cold, they come in there's no love, no family, nothing. No point.
Yeah.
You can build it, spend millions on it. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But if there's demand in the marketplace, everyone's looking for a golden house and you've got the one.
Yeah.
Bro, like, they'll be knocking at your door, they'll be begging you to
But what's the secret to knowing that? Like, I'm just thinking about so many people I speak to that are just looking for that. How do I grow my business? And you're growing brands. Literally, that's your business, is to grow a brand.
Yeah.
How do you find that that's something that is in demand? Because, from my understanding, it's like feasibility studies, market testing, some market analysis, looking online. Obviously, online is everything's there. And, AI can help as well in terms of like helping you think about certain things. But are you doing a combination of all these things?
Definitely. I think one of my favorite tools I like to use is Jungle Scout, and Jungle Scout is an amazing tool for Amazon. Like, even if we're looking at these cufflinks, I can just search it up on Jungle Scout and it'll tell me, this is how much other people are making in the marketplace. This is how competitive it is. It'll give you a score from 0 to 10 of, too competitive, don't go into it. 10, it's like literally the best thing ever since sliced bread, and you can go into that marketplace. But like I always say, just because a market is good doesn't mean that you should get into it. Like, is it seasonal? You know, is it something that's really hot today and tomorrow is, you know, really cold, and
Yeah.
you literally just sat with a ton of stock sitting in the warehouse?
Yeah,
These
yeah,
are
yeah.
things that you can check as well. You can use Google Trends and you can see that analysis of how the market is moving.
Amazing.
And you always want to improve upon the product as well when you're launching.
And this is where, like, what you're doing is you're going to help someone do that journey because you've done it already and save them a lot of pain and aggro.
Oh,
I've been
100%.
in a position with my business partner. I remember sitting with, you know, 700,000, 800,000 pounds of stock in a warehouse in London. That warehouse eventually got broken into as well, which was really sad. And we didn't get the insurance payout for like a lot of unique products. You know, they found a little small print in the insurance, and they did us over. And I called the police and I said, "We're watching." Asked them to call the police. My partner. He said, "We're watching the camera. They're sawing through the lock right now." It was in Woolwich, yeah,
Yeah.
not far from like Southeast London. And the police took hours to get there, and the van was stolen. They came in and they took like art pieces that I'd made. My bikes are art pieces, like with artists, you know, all went, and I lost all the money. And I was like, did I have to do that? Did I have to sit on that much stock? Could I have done like inventory planning better? I started looking back at it, going, man, we just lost all this stock. But actually, if someone had just told me, by the way, it's going to be a quiet season, maybe don't order so much, don't hold so much. Yeah, there's other ways of doing business, and this is where a consultant, someone with a bit of grey hair like me, or someone with you that's got that specific skill set, it's worth just studying their journey and looking into it. And I always get
100%.
inspired by someone that can build, whether it's your brand or someone else's, because there's a skill set that you have, and that's why you're able to grow the brands. Would you say that you're in specific sectors in terms of the brands that you build, in terms of your area expertise, or would you say that it's like very diverse?
So I would say it's diverse, but you know, the way the cookies crumbled is literally home and kitchen, luxury beauty, and sports. 'Cause these are things that I am also interested in.
Yeah.
Because I find it that when you love the work you do more of it, and it doesn't
Yeah.
even feel like work.
Yeah.
You know, to be in a position to be able to grow and scale brands and, you know, help make millions and millions of pounds of sales, you
Yeah.
have to at some point just really be dedicated to that field, to really focus on it, be obsessed about it. Like for me, I don't like going out because I feel like it might distract me from stuff.
Yeah.
But when I'm like at the computer and I'm looking at the data, it's like they're telling me stuff. They're telling me stories, you know, like, and I really love that.
Amazing. And in terms of the kind of like the goals that you have now, what would you say if you could share some of your goals with us? Like, what are you working towards in the near future, in the next 6 months, 12 months? What does it look like for Jason in terms of the next step?
So for me, media is a really big thing. Like I came to Dubai and I absolutely love Dubai. Like for me, Dubai, in the Bible, they have the story of, you know, Moses leading the people to the land flowing with milk and honey. Like for me, that was Dubai for me. I felt the calling, like I needed to be here when I was in the UK. And I want other people to notice that and realize that as well. Like it's a massive opportunity.
Yeah.
And you want to be a part of it, at least just even come and visit it.
Yeah.
So I like to document like most of the things that I'm doing. Even this right now, I'm gonna take a little video and, you know, post that and let people know
Yeah.
about what is available. I think for the next few months, I want to build my digital influence, because the more I'm talking about Dubai, the more I'm talking about the work we do, like real estate, we can collaborate in the real estate industry as well. There's massive opportunity for everyone, you know,
Absolutely, man.
and literally leveraging the internet to make the money.
When I set up the businesses and I joined forces with Junaid, so we obviously went into tech and innovation, food waste management, electric scooters. We want to launch a luxury street clothing brand as well. And we carried on and we went into real estate. Everything I set up was with affiliates in mind, with people. Like, I don't want to build a team of like 100 employees. I already lost my head, you know what I mean? So I'm like, rather than that, I'd rather find someone that's got fire and say, look, let's make this money together. Let's grow together. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I'm doing. I'm building an army in the UK, and we're doing Canada. Next, we want to do America. We're chatting to some guys in Germany as well, in Europe. There's a lot of people that want success. We're going to build back office support in Pakistan and look for, obviously, there's a lot of success there as well. So how we can connect the world via the hub that we're in. And I think that's the big thing for me. We're in this business hub. We're going to do big things together. We might be in Africa in 2 years, like literally influencing food waste policy there,
100%.
reducing carbon emissions,
100%.
making fertilizer on site rather than buying it from somewhere else,
Yeah.
and stopping landfill and smell and disease, you know?
100%.
Who knows? Because these businesses, they have so much potential, but it's about the right partnerships, and it starts somewhere. So I'm really excited about it. I'm really, really kind of looking forward to seeing your journey and your evolution to the next level. I want to talk about failure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I failed. I've made so many decisions that weren't great. I've trusted people, even in the UAE, that have unjust things have happened. Someone's committed to an investment and not done it and let me down. someone's done this and let me down. He promised he'd do that and he didn't do it. And that happened to me a few times in the first 6 months moving here and in the UK as well, right? So I guess there's been that where I'm naive to just take someone at face value, and I've had to learn, tell myself, actually, the world's not as nice as you think it is. That's one of my learnings this year. There's been failures of investing in certain stock that hasn't moved the way it should have, and I'm now looking at ways to pivot around and fix that problem, right? Can you spend like a couple of minutes telling us about anything that you felt listeners out there would benefit from going, I tried this thing and it didn't work? Most importantly, what happened next?
Yeah, 100%. For me, I feel like failure is what shaped my life. I mean, people celebrate me for successes, but really and truly, I'm like, look at my failures. You know, you will learn a lot more from my failures than from my successes.
Yeah.
And even myself, I learned a lot more from my failures.
Yeah.
When I was 19 and I almost lost my life through that stabbing, it was because I was surrounding myself with the wrong people, and that almost cost me who I am today, the legacy I could have left for the world.
On that point there, because that's a really big point, were you just out and about and you had an altercation with some other people, a fight or something break out?
Yeah. So it was literally the most silly thing. Like, it was a bet with this guy, and he's like, "Oh, this guy is from Nigeria." I'm like, "No, this guy's from Jamaica." And he's like, "Oh, let's do a slap bet. You know, if you win, I slap you," or, you know, the childish stuff. And I win, so I go to slap him for the slap bet, and then he gets mad and angry, and now he wants to start stabbing me.
Wow.
So it's like,
so sad.
to me, it's the craziest thing. But then again, like, you know, I was hanging around with the wrong people, man. You know, people were doing drugs, people were just fighting all the time, and that shouldn't have been an environment.
That was in London, right?
So I was at university at Bedfordshire at that time.
Okay, which is Luton.
Yeah, Luton. Yeah. So that moment there taught me, you know, if I'm gonna do anything, if I'm gonna associate with anyone, they need to be doing positive things. They need to be making a positive impact in the world. You know. So that was like one main end. Like right now, you're trying to challenge me to do ice baths. You know what I mean? Like, it's a positive thing. You're not gonna, you know, start doing some weird stuff because you've done an ice bath together. But then even when I started making money, I lost a lot of money as well. I remember when I started early on, I lost 10K. But I'd built like a 6-figure business at that time. But me losing that money was because I thought I was successful. I thought I was the richest guy on earth. Because coming from where I come from to, you know, have 6 figures, like doing 10K, like I thought I was so rich. But that lesson came with a downfall. Like, bro, if you get success, keep learning, keep studying, be persistent, don't ever give up. But then you start working with multi-million-pound brands, and now I'm seeing, okay, there's so much more to the world than what I was thinking. And now I'm learning different strategies. I'm networking with people. Before I'd just be at the room with a computer, which I still do now, but I still make a bit more effort to go network, or at least put out content so people know me. You know what I mean? So there's so many different areas of growth, and every single time that I fail, I figure out, okay, what's the lesson here, and what do I have to make sure I never do again? But the best part is learn from someone who's made those mistakes before, so you don't have to make the same mistake.
I mean, that's the wisest way, but not always the realistic way.
It's the wisest way.
I remember back from like the start of my career, you know, just being around people that were doing big things in London and just learning. And there was quotes that stuck in my head. And, you know, one of the quotes was, success is failure after failure without loss of enthusiasm, right? If I can stay enthusiastic and keep my chin up and pick myself up, as Aaliyah said, dust myself off and try again. Like, if I can just try and do this, then I'm gonna eventually get it right. You know what I mean?
100%.
There's another quote also that came to mind is the stronger the breeze, the stronger the trees. Because you think about that, like in Canada, they've got these mad trees, like so wide. It's like, why are they so big? It's because of the weather conditions, right? The roots have had to go in deeper. The trees have had to go fatter, right? So this is natural in terms of our environment. If we choose that, we will succeed. And if we decide actually to give up, you know, I remember when we lost money, and, you know, when you find out you've lost over £1 million, £1 million, imagine. Like, anyone could be like, you know, I'm done now. I'm getting a job, like, takeaway. I'm done. I got 10x hunger. I was like, now I have to make 10 million, 20 million. I have to. And so now I'm like surrounding myself by successful people, learning how to take my business acumen and my goals and experiences to a new level, and setting like the kind of like that roadmap. And I see it working, and I'm like, this is crazy. Believe in God, pray your prayers, give charity, and work very hard. You're going to get there. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I wanted to go into this, because actually I know a lot of people, bro, that have been out there and they've been in trouble in streets. they've been to prison, they've been stabbed, and guess what? They've gone on a downward trajectory. So you literally just told me I was in that world, man. People are slapping each other for fun. Like, do you know when you think about like, why was I even doing that?
Yeah.
Because of the stupidity I was around.
Literally.
Yeah, stupidness. Yeah. But now look where I'm at today, where I'm thinking about, do I get a G-Wagon? Do I reinvest in business? I want to raise my family. I want to be a leader.
Yeah.
Like, this is all mad inspirational. And I hope people out there will listen to this and go, do you know what? I need to wake up,
Yeah,
wake up and make it happen.
100%.
Yeah. Some people dream while others wake up and make it happen, So I'm hoping people say, do you know what? I'm going to get out of bed tomorrow and I'm going to either reach out to this guy, follow his journey, follow my journey, follow our journey. But most importantly, just take a few of the gems that we dropped today, because time was short today and I knew we would run out of time, but I'm hoping we'll do more conversations and we'll dig deeper as well. Because when it comes to brand building, I really want to like pick your mind on if someone doesn't have the money, if they can't book you, if let's say you offer a service, work with me, but there's a monthly thing, but they don't have it. What gems can we give out to people? Well, we don't have to take someone's money, but we'll spend an hour telling people the key to success. Get to this point and then DM me when you've got 10, 20 grand in your account. Hit me up and I'm going to take you to a new level. And that's what I'm really hoping we can do together. So I ran a business in the UK that customized electric bikes, right? So we'd take people's brands and we'd make them special to them. And it was called Picture Me Rolling, the custom house. And then what we're doing now is we're launching that into a luxury streetwear brand. So we're launching this. Now, the kind of brand values and the name to this brand is what comes to my mind is with Picture Me Rolling is dream, believe, hustle, achieve. Have a dream, believe in your dream. No one else is going to believe in your dream.
100%.
Hustle, and inshallah, God willing, success will come from that. What does Picture Me Rolling mean to you? Like if I said those words, like what does that mean to you personally?
You know what? When you say Picture Me Rolling, I think of like Tupac and
That's
I
what it
think
is.
of Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
And it's like Picture Me Rolling, me and
My
my
500
chauffeur.
pence.
Yeah. But I think definitely it's a vision, it's a dream, it's something that you're accomplishing, something that you're working towards, striving towards.
Yeah.
And once you get there, it's like the perfect picture of the canvas. And it's almost like one of those moments you just want to get someone to like paint it for you, So Picture Me Rolling, that's how I see it.
It's all about that dream and that vision, really, We've got a little gift bag for you as well before we wrap up. It's down there.
Is it?
I'll pass it to you later. But you've got a little gift bag from Picture Me Rolling. So a tea that's not even out in the market yet.
Thank you very much,
and we're just going to wrap up, man. So that's from Picture Me Rolling. But
much appreciated.
no worries, man. So, we've shared Jason's journey today. I hope you guys are inspired with this journey, Think about it. If you're riding a moped around and you're delivering food, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a job and you're making your money. But think about where you could be in 6 months or in a year. We talked about painting a picture just now. What's your picture? Take out a blank bit of paper. See what inspired you from today. Obviously, like, subscribe, and share the channel for love. We're going to grow this. We hope we're giving more inspiring guests and even more, hustling stories and real stories of going from nothing and making something. So thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate your advice and the gems that you've dropped today. And, you've left me inspired as well, which I love. And I don't get inspired every day. You've left me inspired. So I really thank you for that.
Thank you very much, Rob.